could still go either way in terms of a half-time leader. Flicked on, actually by Ronaldo Zay. Wouldn't quite sit up for Besnard. For once it's the Congolese counter. Has an opportunity to cause some problems. But, CAR getting back in decent numbers. Manitu laying it off. Raking pass out to the left-hand side, which asks a lot of Bongeli, and he's done brilliantly. That was nearly equally brilliant. Scoop beyond Yang, but he couldn't beat him sufficiently enough for pace to get there first. Did so well to stop the ball there with so much momentum heading towards the sidelines. Momentum currently here with the DRC, and it's whipped in by Bongeli again, just over the head of Tony Talassi in the middle. Bruce Stefan Abdoulaye trying to push his players up the pitch a touch. He did sit back after that opener to defend their narrow lead. The narrative of the second half is now very different. It could be even more different when Malamoto fired that into Talassi at point-blank range, and it headed back goalwards. Thankfully for the keeper, about 5 yards wide in the end. CAR scored with their only shot on target against Senegal, and despite having had just 33.6% of the possession, their second lowest ever on record at the finals. They, along with their opponents today, have had 2 shots on target thus far. Each has currently scored with 50% of those. Possession is once again considerably going the way of the Central Africans' opponents. 62% now for the DRC as we head towards the final minutes of stoppage time. It's Talassi, heads for the byline to pull it back. That was matched step for step by Biakolo. Likely the final action of the first half will be a Congolese corner. Talassi will be determined to get himself on the score sheet and make amends in his own mind for that penalty miss, as much as it was put in anyway on the rebound. Mabundu Manitu with the corner, straight this time to Malamoto to set his side straight away. Collision there between 3 players. I think a yellow card about to be produced to Landry Soko. Sungi, and I think it was by Goto, bursting away on the break. One way or another, Soko managed to stop them both, but not legally. And it was actually Junior Nganza who took a shoulder, potentially in the throat there. VAR might be checking that one.
Watch to the end for a discount code to Restream's Upload and Stream. Being a content creator can feel like you've always got to be on, always live. It's overwhelming. So stream smarter. Upload your video to Restream and we'll stream it live whenever and wherever you want. Maximize your audience and growth while Restream frees you up to do whatever. Morning, afternoon or late at night, your stream goes live exactly when you've planned, even while you're offline. It's not about streaming all the time, it's about streaming smarter. Upload and stream from Restream.
Ganza back to his feet. Seemingly not worthy of another look, and in fact the decision has gone the way of the DRC. To say to my surprise, but either way, it was the final kick pretty much of the first half. A fascinating first half with a goal for each side. Opener from Yakoma Zabakamada after 10 minutes was cancelled out by a penalty, which he gave away. Tony Talasi denied from the spot by Malamoto, but following up on the rebound, Noah Makanza with the equaliser. And so 45 minutes are remaining to separate these two, who have been pretty inseparable thus far. Final huddle on the pitch from the Central Africans, who have to pick themselves up. Momentum swang away from them over the course of that first half. They sat back and defended their narrow lead. In doing so, allowed the DRC a lot of the ball. See more than 62% of the possession and triple the number of shots, almost triple the number of shots on target. It's a little more even in terms of corners and pass accuracy, but just look at those number of fouls. CAR 15 fouls in the first half, 2 yellow cards. That's 4 players now. You can't afford another yellow card in the second half if they want to play on match day 3. And for all those statistics, the only one that really matters at the moment is at the top of the screen. That reads CAR 1, DRC 1. With 45 minutes remaining here in Suez. Back at the first half of this meeting between the CAR and the DRC at the Under-20 AFCON here in Egypt. Each produced an impressive 1-1 draw in their match day 1 game against much more fancied opponents. And it's CAR immediately on the front foot inside a minute, producing a save from Ryan Tutu. Into the middle, up into the air from Aoka, not properly cleared. It's going to come back into the box, partially away by Kalonji. Still not totally cleared. That's a nervous slice from Soko. They are not dealing with this defensively, and they have been punished. The CAR take the lead through left back Rafael Yakoma Zabakamada. It all stemmed from a total lack of organisation and lack of composure at the back from the Congolese side. VAR getting involved, saying the referee might want to look at that again on her pitch side monitor. And it will be a penalty. Yakoma Zabakamada, who scored the opener, gives away the penalty. Saved by Malamoto, but on the rebound, Noah Makanza with the equaliser. First to the ball by a mile. Malamoto thought he'd done his job, but it is to be a half-time score of Central African Republic 1, Democratic Republic of the Congo 1. Welcome back to Egypt for the second half of this second round Group C game between the Central African Republic and the Democratic Republic of the Congo at the 2025 Total Energies CAF Under-20 AFCON. And it is a goal apiece at the halfway point. Same scoreline from the full-time whistle at both the matchday 1 games for these sides. A draw against Senegal and Ghana respectively. This time they are currently cancelling each other out. CAR open the scoring after 10 minutes through their 17-year-old left back, Rafael Yakoma Zabakamada. But it was he who then gave away a penalty late in the first half. VAR getting involved, letting the referee know that she should head over to her pitch side monitor and have a look. And indeed, after a few viewings from a couple of angles, Akisi Konan pointed to the spot. Tony Talasi took it. It was saved by Malamoto, but slotted home on the rebound by Noah Makanza. And that is how we stand, with 45 minutes still to play in this game at the halfway point of the group stage. Still nothing to separate any of these sides. There is, though, a change that will be made heading into the second half. Ibrahim Matobo is brought on in place of Faveri Bongeli, who won the penalty, but at some expense, was down for a while, receiving treatment. Maybe that knock proving too much for him to play the second half. Either way, fresh legs for the DRC as we head into the second 45, this match day 2 meeting between themselves and the CAR here at the Under-20 AFCON in Egypt. Two teams started the first half brightly. CAR never looked as threatening again as they did in the first 5-10 minutes. Settled down a touch and sat back a fair bit, looking to defend that narrow lead. See how they kick off things after a 15-minute break. Two number 6s coming together there. And Ganza winning. Oh, he was actually a player penalised there. Free kick went the way of the DRC. Now Roca winning the free kick. Led to precisely nothing though. Offside flag immediately up against the Congolese forwards. CAR on a 5-game winless run at the finals, having lost their final game against Gambia in 2021 in the quarter-finals. Their opening 2 games in 23 against Uganda and South Sudan, then of course drawing their final game in 2023 against the Republic of the Congo, and their first game of this edition. However, their 1-1 draw with Senegal marked the first time they avoided defeat after conceding first at the finals. Had previously lost those games with Uganda and South Sudan after conceding a first fight back, but here it was the shoe on the other foot, opening the scoring and then conceding themselves. In each of their previous appearances at the finals, they lost their second group game. Can they put an end to that run here? Either side would be too disappointed with the draw, but they know this is a big opportunity. They are the 2 underdogs in this group. Both did so well to hold their more fancied opponents to a draw in the first game. And they know the winner here will be in a great position to qualify. Whatever the result between Senegal and Ghana later today. Great acceleration there from Messi. Mabudu Manitu kept it in as well. But eventually coming to nothing there. Couldn't find his captain. He's rather surrounded by white shirts. Drop of the shoulder from Sungi. It's again the attempted 1-2 with the number 9 not coming off. Now this time misplacing his pass. Selassie couldn't find a way out. Besna again quickly closed down, this time by Awaka. Both claim the throw. It'll be the midfielder who gets it. Abdoulaye watching on. Bruce Stefan Abdoulaye, the CAR coach, appointed to the head of the under-20 CAR team in July last year, replacing Sebastian Ngato, who was promoted to the senior team. His side having to do some defending here, and it's going to be turned in on the rebound. And it's Noah Makanza again. He was the first to the loose ball after the penalty. But just like late in the first half, early in the second, he's the man in the right place at the right time once again to complete the turnaround. Oh, it's great work on the far side. First from Ibrahim Boto, immediately involved the substitute and definitely onside. And once again, the CAR defenders just guilty of being far too statuesque. Matobo turning this way and that, putting it one side of Abdias Yangba, leaving him on the turf. And though Matobo was denied what would have been a brilliant individual goal, it will be an effective assist. Malamoto could only parry it into the path of Makanza. It's a quick-fire double, effectively, from the Michelin man. Plays his football in Belgium. A 20-year-old, whilst there was a 15-minute break in between, there were only 8 minutes in terms of the timings between the 42nd and 50th minute goals. How do the CAR respond to this? Managed to avoid defeat after conceding the first for the first time, as mentioned a few minutes ago, against Senegal. Can they fight back again here, having opened the scoring and then conceded twice? What goes around comes around, and so too what turns around can turn back around. CAR here with a free kick, decent position. He's sent in by Idaro. Besna can't do anything with it though. It's had a largely frustrating and isolated 50 minutes or so thus far. 17-year-old got 19 minutes on match day 1 as a substitute, but hasn't done much more with about triple that thus far. You wonder if there will be an introduction for Lefort Cassina or Baptiste Kilala. Started the opening game in attack.
Discover your new Honda, right now at Richfield Bloomington Honda. Come see the latest lease offer on a 2025 Honda CR-V. The search is over. Visit us today at Richfield Bloomington Honda.
Talk about plenty of action here. 3 goals. Contentious decisions. Could there be another one there? Andre Sungi goes down. It was in the box. I think a decent chunk of the ball though from Jules Awoka. Indeed, nothing wrong there by Awoka. Just Sungi catching the back of his boot as he tried to send the ball on himself. Awoka completed the most passes for DRC on match day 1. Keeps things ticking over in midfield. He's performing very nicely again here. That is seemingly a problem for Yakoba Sabakamada, who's had a real roller coaster of a day here so far in Suez. Scored the opener, then conceded the penalty, and now needing some treatment. Didn't see anything obvious. Seemed to go down all of his own accord. Clearly onside. Matobo in the build-up to that goal. Took on his fellow number 7, Ronaldo Zay, first. Then Yangba left him for dead. With Biakolo in the way. Went for goal. Whilst he might not get the official assist. That was all about the Congolese super sub, Matobo. A crucial piece of play just 5 minutes after entering the fray. Besnard blocked off in no uncertain terms there by Dukalonji. I'm tired of seeing that from Matobo. Played the full 90 on match day 1. Surprised to see him drop out of the starting 11. Making perfectly clear, perfectly quickly to his manager just what he can offer. Makanza, the main beneficiary, walking the ball into the net. DRC now half an hour or so away from what would be a first ever win at the under-20 AFCON. 4 draws, 2 losses across their multiple appearances. Abdius Yangba will need to be replaced, it would appear. Multiple players warm up, all staking their claim. Those 2 losses, 4 draws for DRC. They have always opened with a draw. 2-2 in 1989, 0-0 in 2013, 1-1 last week against Ghana. They've never, though, built on that opening draw with a victory. They could do just that here. Abdius Yangba will be forced off, unfortunately, it would appear. Turns 19 a week today. The Rendici Calcio Academy prospect, playing his club football in Italy. for now. CAR will soldier on. A man light, waiting for presumably Yangba's replacement to warm up. Numerical disadvantage or not, CAR determined to push on and find an equaliser of their own, but are up against it here. Unfortunate that was a little heavy, but Nuti's got there, and it's 3-1. And it's Samuel Ntanda with a header. Again, the same combination as against Ghana on matchday one. Manitu putting it on a plate for his captain. They might have opened the scoring here, the CAR, but it's all been downhill since then. Piccolo stares into the middle distance. Malamoto gives his defence what for, not for the first time. It was Ntanda who sent it out to his number 10. And Mabundu Manitu with another great delivery right onto the forehead of the centre forward. His second of the tournament, DRC's third of the day, and they are now in total control of this game with half an hour to play. Born in Brussels, Samuel Ntanda, of Congolese descent, has switched after playing for the Belgian under-18s and under-19s to play for the DRC under-20s. Les Leopardos. And he is thoroughly enjoying his time with the Congolese side. Now winning a free kick. Immediately handed the responsibility of the armband. Youth product of Anderlecht, Mechelen, same as his fellow goal scorer, Noah Makanta, before moving on to Sampdoria, their youth academy 2.5 years ago. That's been missed at the back. It's going from bad to worse for the CAR. This time they escape unscathed after a piece of indecisive defending. It was Perry Wagwan misjudged that. His first involvement after replacing Yangba at right back. Straight in again, Matobo. Piccolo with an important challenge, an important block this time to keep them in this game. They can rediscover kind of form they showed early in the match. One goal, the momentum will swing once again. Clumsy tackle by Bradley Besnard on Jules Awoka. It's Yakoma Sabakamada who's back down, limping, one booted towards the sidelines. Is that about to be two fullbacks in a row? As an irate Bruce Stefan Abdullahi lets the fourth official know exactly what he thinks of, I think, the fact that that substitution was delayed. Wagwan, I think, came on after the goal. It's a double change now. Off goes Baigoto for the man who scored the equaliser against Senegal. Diogen Pengazonia. And yes, it is, unsurprisingly, Yakoma Sabakamada also to make way for Kylian Chasport. Surprised to see Pengazonia not rewarded with a start here on match day 2 after a double change in attack for Bruce Stefan Abdoulaye. As I said, Besnard and Baigotto who got the nod. Pengazonia's very well taken goal. It's only earned him another half an hour or so here, and he produced another super sub performance. His fellow sub Chasport, it's the first touch of the ball, a sliced one, which does nothing to worry Ryan Tutu. Tutu, part of the Strasbourg youth setup, another plays football in Liga. And like the Angers man on the opposing side, Yakoma Sabakamada, who's now made way, would have been happy with the result at the weekend. Meanwhile, here in Suez, DRC back on the attack. Chasport with an interception and then a strong left boot there to ensure Bundu Manitu couldn't cause any more trouble for the back line. Wagwan goes back to Malamoto. It's just to finish that point at Ryan Tutu's Strasbourg, beating Paris Saint-Germain, the French champions who only lost their first game of the season the weekend before. Beaten 2-1 by Le Racing, who continue their hunt for an unexpected Champions League spot. Very tight battle at the top of the French table. Tutu hasn't featured there as yet with Georgia Petrovic, the first choice keeper for Strasbourg. Chelsea loanee, has played a number of times for the Strasbourg B team in the CFA2. Also had to pick the ball out of the net here early on. Hasn't been overly troubled since and has done everything called of him. Everything asked of him in 3 quarters now almost of this game. It's more likely to be Malamoto worked here. Tander's first to the ball. It was good tracking back from Biacolo. Got in and put that behind for a corner, but this is not going to plan for the CAR. Continuing to find themselves on the back foot when they really have to be pushing on, looking for a second goal of their own. Oh, Besnard trying to clear it away, inadvertently sending it into the danger area. No harm came of it, but it's still with the DRC here. Switch of play be picked up by Mamadou Manitu. Lots of space now on the right-hand side for Matobo. He'll run at Besnard, take it past him, cuts it back brilliantly, killed, and then sent goalwards by Daniel Shilanda. DRC centre-backs getting in on the action. Brilliant first touch, decent effort, but Malamoto held on to this one. It's been his parries that have been the undoing more than once of his side. As was the case for Tutu at the other end. The XG now tells a rather similar story to the scoreline. Very different in the first half when CAR had the lead. XG now about 0.5 for the CAR, 3.26 for the DRC, and they have pretty much matched the expected goals with their actual goals. Could there be more to come? Not this time. Matobo, who has been a real bright spark since coming on, looking to profit from that through ball. Malamoto was alive to the danger. We said the mood was different in this Congolese squad. They believed this new crop of players could do something pretty special, something beyond their previous achievements, and it's starting to look that way. Decent chance they'll be top if it is to end a scoreline along these lines. Come the end of match day 2. See what happens between Senegal and Ghana later. Two pretty evenly matched teams. You'd be surprised if they manage to produce a differential of more than 2 goals. 3 scored here for the DRC. But the job is not done yet. To be wary not to turn off. They won't punish there as the ball was sent forwards for the run of Pengazonia, who's shown what he can do on the counter already in this tournament, but on that occasion getting it all wrong with a rather hurried shot. He can't keep it in, full of running. Once again, the AS Douane youngster, both he and his captain on the opposite wing, Ronaldo Zay, part of the AS Douane Academy. DRC not having it all their own way here. Have to be careful in the final 20 minutes or so. Not to turn off and assume the job is done. The two rather cancelling each other out thus far. Ferdinand Gandila sends the ball towards Makanzo, who's on a hat-trick. Shot though, it's not from him. Well, his teammate in the Sunrise kit. The sun has gone down here in Suez. but it's still the Congolese who are making hay, whether or not it is shining. Tony Talassi will be a touch frustrated here, even with his side 3-1 to the good. Missed a penalty, unable to make amends thus far. Another double change for the CER, the final two available to Bruce Stefan Abdullahi. On comes Ryan Kolimba. Ronaldo Zay off once again, as is Bradley Besnar, and a double change as well for the CER. Both number 9s making way. Samuel Ntanda will hand off the armband to Mukandila, affectionately known as Semedo Mukandila. Now waiting to come on, Honoré Bayanganisa Nakalamwa. And alongside him, Isaac Ifwiku Timonakene. Well, the pair of them able to provide even more. Well, that was very nearly one touch, one goal potentially for Lefiku. More brilliant work down that left-hand side from Matobo. Surely he'll start match day 3. DRC have looked a totally different side. Since he arrived at half-time, it's a threatening ball into the box from Sungi. Just slightly too much power. Nice idea. Heading in the direction of the other runner into the box. Gazonia determined to repeat his heroics from the other night. He'll have to score 2 though in 15 minutes, which remain here in Suez. Was towards Sungi, but unable to do anything really of note. CER, they're seeing more of the ball here, but DRC are doing enough, and it's a needless free kick given away by Benjamin Adaro, who again has to be careful here on a yellow from the first game. Second would see him suspended, and no need for cynical grabs of the shirt like that in what is bordering on a lost cause this late in the game. Certainly not worth missing the final group game for something as unnecessary as that. CER might have more pedigree in this competition, but
So last night he used Hims.
Honestly, nothing better than when a guy breaks this out.
I seriously can't stop thinking about
Hims.
Hims.
Thank you for the best night of my life.
PSA to guys out there, we love when you Hims.
If he pops one of these, I know what's coming.
Hims.
Hims.
Discover longer, better times in the bedroom. Get started today at hims.com.
Côte d'Ivoire, the start of 2024, third in 2015 and 1998, 6 other quarter-final appearances since the start of the 90s. And they will take place again in the upcoming AFCON in December, drawn alongside Senegal, Benin and Botswana in their group. Perhaps surprisingly, just the one appearance at the World Cup for the Congolese as Zaire back in the 70s. They failed to make it through the group stage compared to CER, the senior team, who have never made the AFCON finals. Came the closest in 2017 when they finished second behind the DRC in Group B in a year where only top of the group qualified. Finished bottom of the group in the qualifiers for the most recent edition, below Lesotho. Just one win, 5 defeats from their 6 games, and have won just 3 World Cup qualifiers ever. They impressed early on in this group stage, CAR, and credit to them here, they're not giving up. Got men over on the far side. Ryan Kalingba looking to make something happen, but forced to retreat and giving the ball away in the end. Still animated on the sidelines, he hasn't given up yet. Bruce Stefan Abdoulaye, frustrated or not. Daro sends it forwards, but no one there. Tutu can gather up. Sungi, impressively, still got energy in the tank after bombing up and down that left wing for 80 minutes plus now. Ferdinand Candila, now with the armband, wins the free kick up against Kolingba. Hard-working fullback from Cercle Don Bosco. Pacey, offers both in attack and defence. Overlapping runs, excellent crosses, intelligent movement. As you can see, great reading of the game there to intercept that pass before the offside flag had gone up. More than 80 accurate passes, more than their opponents for the Congolese side. It is a well-deserved lead. You have to say, they had to fight back after that early blow as they make their 4th substitution here, which will be the 2-goal hero, Noah Makanza, even if it's probably a combined distance for about 10 yards, if that, across those 2 goals. They are looking very good for 3 points here. On in his place comes Grady Katangulu. Ibukasa still with 1 substitution available to him, should he require it. Perhaps keeping it in his pocket in case there is to be a CAR second here. Maybe throwing another defender, try and see them over the line. Kalingba will take a free kick in a decent position. Biakolo couldn't get his head to it. It's missed by Junior Nganza, but Magwan there to tidy up and send it back in the right direction, forcing his way through on the far side, but ultimately from Pengazonia has only resulted in Ryan Tutu able to pick up the ball. He remained on it. It was actually Pengazonia who did the damage to, I think it's Shul Awaka, it is indeed. Won the ball, but caught a bit of the man after. One of many battles between Biakolo and Tanda in his time on the pitch. Now be top scorer in the competition, along with a couple of others who got a brace on match day 1. Zabiri from Morocco, who unfortunately was injured in the process of scoring the second. And his teammate, Busnina, replacing him, scoring on match day 2. In fact, it is, sorry, Camera. Momo Camera, of course, the current top scorer with a hat-trick for Sierra Leone against Egypt. And their 4-1 win a few days ago. But now, joint second top scorer, not bad at all for Samuel Ntanda. And the man who has since made way, Noah Makanza. And it's a nasty collision. Lefiku, genuine attempt at the ball, eyes focused on it, but unable to get out the way, and then catching Malamoto in the face, adding injury to insult that way round. Thankfully though, the young keeper seemingly fine to continue, shaking that one off pretty impressively. Looked like hefty collision. But we are back underway with it's under 5 minutes to play. It's now or never for the CAR. They could grab one back in the next minute or two. They'll make things interesting through to the final whistle, and far nervier for the DRC. Whilst they've kept running, kept their heads up, trying to get the ball forwards. Sense heads are just dropping a touch. Legs feeling the distance covered. That could be an opportunity though. Miss-hit clearance. Well, it dropped. In a threatening position, but Pengazonia couldn't make the most of it. Gone back in midfield by Nganza. See our midfielder wins a free kick. Which will be successfully taken at the second time of asking. Kalingba holds off the challenge. Biakolo tries to dance past a couple in the yellow-red fade. He ran down a blind alley. And now will be beaten to the ball by the speed of Matobo. Waits for reinforcements to arrive. And he was looking for his fellow nippy winger on the other side, Mabundu Manitu. Nice idea, just a little under hit. Messi, Mabundu Manitu. Whether a happy accident or a love of Messi by his parents, there are certainly similarities. A diminutive left-footed winger. Quick changes of direction. brilliant passing. Been one of the best in Congolese colours. DRC's captain, Kandila, was caught there by Sungi. Knocking the ball away. And the CAR winger landing with his studs on the right foot of the right back. Seems to have escaped without a booking. So we enter the final 90 seconds of the scheduled 90 minutes. Quick bit of treatment by the medics, and Kandila is seemingly good to go again. Manitou gets us back underway. Playing his trade with Amiens in France, in Ligue 2, currently mid-table. Since he could catch the attentions of some higher up the French leagues, maybe elsewhere, if he can keep up these kind of performances. There as well, back defending. A few appeals from those in white, though, presumably for a handball, which would have been right on the edge of the area. VAR can check it. It might be too little, too late now, even if it were to prove to be a spot kick. CAR have 10 seconds plus stoppage time to find 2 goals. They would only salvage 1 point. Malamoto well off his line. But slipping as he attempted to send that towards an attacker, and ball is out for a DRC throw. We did look to hit the left hand of Messi Mabundu Manitou. I think it may have just been outside the area. Imagine VAR will only get involved should that have been inside the area, and a clear offence worthy of a second viewing for referee Akisi Konan. We have played on into, as it was in the first half, 5 minutes of stoppage time, almost one of which has already come and gone. It's brought down edge of the area. It's queuing up here in CAR white, but it still won't happen. Pangazonia with a roar of frustration, as neither of his efforts found their way past Landry Soko, who has turned this one around. Culpable for the first goal, and now doing everything to keep this 2-goal lead. Palingba with the in-swinger onto the head of Shilanda. Optimistic, opportunistic attempt from a long way out from Junior Nganza, one which comes to nothing. All is not lost, though, must be said, for the CAR, depending on the results. Both here, which looks pretty much set in stone now, and later this evening, they should still have an opportunity to turn things round with a giant killing on match day 3. As the final substitution of the match will take place. Messi Mabundu Manitou earning a well-deserved round of applause as he makes way for Meshak Shimanga. Up into the air, won by Aoka, who's still all over the middle of the park. to dominate midfield. Kalimba tried to take that one quickly. Sold to retake it, but talking a little bit too much himself was Bayanganiza, who's the latest to enter the referee's book. I think that's potentially what he was complaining about. Might have had a point as well. Marguan studs up there over the ball. Fortunately, no harm done to the young Congolese on the receiving end. There has been a fair bit of harm done to the morale of the CAR. They're still looking to get things done, get things underway quickly, but looking like they've run out of ideas as we enter the final minutes of stoppage time. Instead, it's DRC down the other end, looking to apply icing to the cake. Offside flag, though, up against Matobo. Catching the number 7 off guard there. Long ball, not quite back on side yet. Kandila getting his own back after having been on the receiving end of one or two tough challenges. That was in fact Radi Katungulu. 95 minutes have come and gone. Final throw of the dice for a consolation, but that didn't come off. Very little came off in truth for the CAR in the second half. If not, the final 80 minutes of the game, it was they who took the lead after 10 minutes through their left back, Rafael Zakabomada. But once the DRC steadied the ship and got the lucky break of a VAR assisted penalty late in the first half, they never looked back. With 2 rebounds. First from the penalty, second Matobo's effort. Moments after coming on at half time. And Samuel and Tanda, the captain, adding a third on the hour mark. 3-1, the final score in favour of the DRC.
Test the mic, test the mic.
Congratulations on the man of the match award.
Thank you, in French, français.
Congratulations on the man of the match award.
Thank you, thank you.
How do you feel about the award?
Très content. On a beaucoup travaillé lors de la préparation et oui, c'est le travail, c'est le fruit de travail.
Hi, I'm Dana. I'm a filmmaker. Come with me to create an entire movie poster mock-up with the newest AI-powered features from Envato. I use image gen to describe my poster, but there's a few things I didn't like, so I changed them with the replace tool. Then I'm using the new voice gen feature to make a dramatic movie-style narration. And here's the result.
A little girl with a giant red balloon reminds us that even the smallest dreamers can rise above it all.
All these features are unlimited with Envato. Try these for your next project, and that's it for today.
Restream's Upload and Stream is how podcasters, fashion and beauty streamers, fitness coaches, even business professionals grow their channels. Upload your video to Restream and we'll stream it live to YouTube, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, wherever you want. The algorithms love live videos and engagement, so you get more views, more subscribers, and yep, more money. So let Restream get to work while freeing you to generate fresh ideas. Restream's Upload and Stream for creators who stream smarter.
Sometimes things just click, and sometimes they don't. We all have those moments. When you're spinning your wheels, need to pump the brakes, need to get back in the saddle. When you need more height, when you need an extra set of hands, need it to float, roll, fly. Okay, man, maybe that's too high. But hey, you're gonna be fine. We get it, and we got you. It's the beauty of creating, that moment when it all clicks. And when you need the right pieces of equipment to make it work, or need someone to just show you how it works, there's Lenny, or Leslie, or David on video chat, here to make sure you have the right parts and partner for the task at hand. B&H, where creativity clicks. Ian, you nailed it.
entrepreneurs are pushing boundaries, and Busy helps them launch with confidence. Wherever business takes you, Busy's right there with you.